Hi everyone, today I want to walk you through my recipe manager and meal planner template. You might be familiar with the first version of this template, which I shared a little over 2 years ago, I believe. I'll leave its link in the description. Anyway, this is an updated version that includes a meal planner and a prep hub, so without further ado, let's get started. So we have 5 main databases and 3 supporting ones, which I'm going to cover. So I want to start with the food base, which is basically a database where you keep all the food items that you use in your recipes. I wanted it to have as many items as possible, so you save time while creating the recipes, as you'll see later. So I added more than 300 items, categorized them, and added how many calories are there per 100 grams and where it's usually stored, and we'll see later how this info is being put to use. We also have here a menu, so you can go through all the items and add or remove some if you want. And if you want to, let's say, add a new category, all you have to do is use the template button here. First, let me unlock the page, and by the way, most pages in this template are locked, and the reason is it gives a cleaner look, but more importantly, it prevents me from accidentally changing anything, especially when I'm on my phone or tablet in the kitchen. So after unlocking the page, I'm gonna click the Add New View button. We name the new view, so let's say I want a view of everything in the freezer. And then change the filter. I'll filter by the stored in property and set it to freezer. The recipes gallery is where you should spend most of your time, whether following an old recipe or creating a new one. So we have here a menu where you can view your recipes by meals and categories. So if I click main course, I'll see main courses only. And if I click seafood, I see seafood recipes. So you might want to create a view for a specific diet you or someone in your family follows. Whatever you want, really. So let me quickly show you if you want a view of vegan meals. How do you do that? I'll first unlock the page, then use the template button here. I'm going to rename the view to vegan. Maybe add an icon, and filter by the tag vegan. And I'm also gonna drag it up here. Now let me show you the inside of a recipe page. So we have the basic properties like category, meal types, and tags. How much does it take to make it? You can also add a rating, the URL to the original recipe. And here is one of my favorite parts of this template, which is scaling the ingredients. So the servings property contains the original number of servings that the ingredients make. This is what you find in the original recipe URL. But if you want to change that number and have the ingredients scale automatically, we use the new servings property. Let me show you how. I'll first unlock the page. Here you can see the original recipe has 2 cups of mushrooms and 1 teaspoon of cumin. But if I change the new servings to 2, you see how all the amounts are automatically divided by 2. And if I make it 8, you see all the original amounts are now doubled. Now if you want the original 4 servings back, you just leave it empty. Now the ingredients. So we have 3 views here. The entry view is what we use while creating the recipe, which we'll do later. The display view is what we use while cooking or following the recipe. And the calories view, and it shows how many calories are there in each ingredient. But you see it's all zeros here because of the units I used. If you want to make use of this view, you'll have to use grams or kilograms as units. So if I go back to the entry view and change the 2 cups of mushroom to say 400 grams, you see now the calories are calculated. We have here the recipe instruction, and to the right some useful widgets like the timer. You can set it and beeps when it's done, and the unit converter. We also have some notes and the recipe nutritions. So let's create a recipe together. I'm going to use the new recipe template. I'll fill out these properties first. Now adding the ingredients. The way I like to do it, and I think it's the fastest way too, is I first add records with the count of my ingredients. So if the recipe has 6 ingredients, I'm going to create 6 empty records. I'll then go and fill out the amounts and the units and select the food for each record. The next step I know confused a lot of people even in the older version, so let me take a second to explain it. The view I'm filling here is a view of a database called the ingredient book, and it's not the food database because if I link the food directly to the recipe, I won't be able to add the amounts and units, which of course is the most important thing about an ingredient. So basically, this table links the recipe to the food. What confused most people is what should be added in the first field, the name or the title field. And the answer is, you could add anything. You can add a number or write the food names yourself or leave it empty. However, I found the cleanest way to do it is to copy whatever it's in the food property and paste it there. Let me show you. So if I select everything in that column and paste it here, you see it first saves time because I don't have to re-enter anything, and secondly, when I move to the display view, the food name is shown as a title of the card, which is really neat. Okay, so we can add the instructions here. And here we have the stickers gallery. I'll show you how to use it. So let's search for potatoes, for example. I'll pick this one, right-click and copy the image, and paste it into my template. I also delete it when I'm done for a cleaner and less cluttered recipe card. To the right, we have the units converter, which I showed you earlier, which we can use while adding the ingredients and delete it when we're done. And if you want to add notes like how to store your recipe or whether you can freeze it or not or stuff like that, you can use the template button to add the notes section. If you have the nutrition of your recipe, you can add it too. I'm also going to delete the template buttons because I don't need them anymore. Finally, I'm going to lock the page so I don't mess it up while I'm in the kitchen. This is a super simple table that I use to capture the recipes I haven't tried yet, because honestly, I wouldn't take the time to create a recipe if I don't intend on making it more than once, and I wouldn't know that unless I tried for the first time. So I just save everything to this table using Notion Clipper or by sharing the recipe to Notion if I'm on my phone, and you'll see how I use it in the meal planner to get new ideas. Finally, I mark the recipe I try and like to either add them to the recipes gallery when I have time or just delete them. So, the meal planner. I can't tell you how much meal planning has helped me. It takes off the daily continuous stress of what's for dinner and who's gonna cook. And when I started doing it, I do the whole month, but what became more practical for me is just doing it weekly. We usually do our grocery shopping on Tuesdays, so usually on Tuesday before going to the grocery shop, my husband and I plan for the next week. And that way we know exactly what to get and we have way less food waste and save money too. So here we have all the plans, but then we have 2 views for planning weekly and monthly and 2 views for seeing those plans. So let me plan next week with you. You can plan everything, breakfasts and lunches and snacks even, but let's plan dinners. In the who property, you decide who's going to cook if you live with someone who cooks too. But if it's just you, you can leave it empty or even delete the property altogether. Now selecting the meals. Because I wouldn't remember all the recipes I have collected and the recipes I want to try, I have 3 helper views. The first one shows the recipes to try, the base we talked about earlier. The second one is something I really like. This view shows the recipes that haven't been used in any meal plan for over a month. Let me show you. If let's say I added this salmon pasta for the first day, it will disappear from the view because now it's not forgotten anymore. And the third view just has all the recipes so you can pick from. So after planning, you can go to the menu. You can see here, because I have only planned dinners, the other meals are showing as no plan yet. So once you're done, you can take a screenshot of it and print it, maybe put it in your kitchen, or simply add the page to your favorites for quick access. One thing I wanted to note here, that I have already added pages till the end of 2025. But let's say it's 2026 and you want to add more pages. Just click the new and fill out the date, and that's it. If you want to create multiple pages at once, you can use Excel or Google Sheets to generate the dates, copy them, and paste them in Notion. But let's hope by 2026, Notion already has this feature. So this is a multi-purpose page. You can use it before going grocery shopping because it has an auto-generated shopping list based on your recipes. I also use it while I'm in the kitchen if I am meal prepping to help me get everything I need without having to keep moving all around the kitchen. So the first step is to filter by the dates you already have plans for, or you want to plan here first. I am using the dates from November 6th to 8th just to show you. So if I click on the filter here, you see those dates. So you can see all the planned recipes. And the second step is adjusting the servings for each recipe. So to do that, first we have to filter by the same dates as above. So these filters here, these properties I'm using are planned breakfast, planned lunch, dinner, and snacks. If you just care about dinners, then just filter by planned dinners and delete the rest of the filters. Now to adjust the servings, I'm gonna go through the recipes and see how many times are we making them. So for example, we're gonna have the apple pie for 3 days, and it's just my husband and I, so that means 3 times 2, meaning 6 servings. The original recipe of the apple pie has 8 servings, so that's why I am adding the new serving. Same with the crust, the original recipe creates 12 servings, but I only need 6. Now that I have adjusted everything, depending on what I want to do next, I use this view. So if I'm going grocery shopping, I'll filter by all the recipes I want to shop for, the same recipes in this table, and I'll see all the food items I need to have. This one here means it's only used in one ingredient, so if I uncollapse it, I'll see the amount I need. The salt, for example, is used twice, so I can uncollapse it and see the amounts I need. Now, because we rarely use the same unit while creating recipes, you can't just add these amounts, because you can't add like grams to cups or teaspoons to tablespoons. But you can, of course, accurately estimate how much you need to buy when you see the amounts you need. Honestly, we have saved like around 25% on our groceries using this way, and I can't recommend it more. Like, if you're gonna use any part of this template, use this part with a meal planner. The other way to use this page is while you're in the kitchen and ready to cook multiple recipes. The first step would be to get all the ingredients you need. And because I hate going around the kitchen with my dirty hands, opening the fridge and the cabinets and making a lot of mess, the easy way and the French way to do it, mise en place or whatever, excuse my pronunciation, is to just like get everything first. So again, I filter by the recipes I'm going to cook, and then get everything from the pantry and then the fridge and then the freezer. After getting everything, you can move to the next step and start checking the recipes. You can also see the calories, but as explained before, on the recipes page, you'll have to have entered the ingredients in grams or kilograms. But you can still see the calories per 100 grams, or if you want to see them by ounce, you can change the property. Let me show you how. So instead of calories per 100 grams, you choose the calories per ounce, and rename the property too, of course. Okay, Okay, so that sums up all the basic components in this template. Let me just show you quickly the food stickers gallery here. This is what we have seen in the recipes template earlier, and it has around 800 stickers already. So take a look there. This was also available in the older version of this template, so you can check it. The ingredient book is what we have used to add ingredients to a specific recipe, and you shouldn't really edit it on your own outside of the context of a specific recipe. So don't open the table and start editing it. Finally, we have the wiki here for reference if you don't want to rewatch this video again. So that's it for today. The older version of this template is and will always be free. I'll have the link in the description. If you have paid anything for that older version before I publish this one, then thank you, and you should have received a promo code to get this one for free. But if you didn't, I'll leave my email, so email me and I'll send you your promo code. I hope this inspires you with your own template, or if you want this one, check the link. Finally, if you have any questions, suggestions, or feature requests, please do get in touch. Thank you for watching and happy notioning.